thing again. We would have just completely ignored your pregnancy.
Yes. It worked this time. Let's go. Hello, everybody. Hold on. Gotta put the mic on. Sorry. All this disgusting stuff, too. Right over here. Can you hear me?
I guess.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing? Those that are there. Hi. Hello. First time doing this. Pretty good. I think success so far. So I'm gonna see if I can put subtitles. I don't think I can though, but pretty excited. How many people are excited to watch this? Also, how many people have already watched the part 1 that they put up on YouTube? I have not watched it yet because I wanted to watch it in its entirety. So I haven't watched it, but I'm excited. I'm excited. You can see like the junk that's in my room. Sorry. Tried my best. Part 1 was very good. I have not watched it, so I'm very excited. We're going to be watching it. Well, we're going to be watching the part 2 all together. But we are going to watch everything together. Woo! It's already starting. It's already starting. I'm going to cry. I'm just going to plug in my computer. And I'm going to try to read some of your comments through there if I can't really read it on here. I think it might be better if I could do it on the computer. So I have my computer here. I also got some beer here, but I'm going to transfer it to another cup. So cheers. Happy lockdown. Let's cry together. I'm not very excited, but I'm excited. I'm just like, oh, this is going to be heavy. Screw the coronavirus! Start up those chants, baby. Start up those chants.
She was more in love than I'd ever seen her in my life. This was during Chris and Nancy's wedding. Daniel was the best man, of course. All right, we'll go ahead and send somebody out there to check on it.
Well, the wrestling world in shock today. Former champion Chris Benoit found dead in his Atlanta home.
This is gonna get heavy. This is already a heavy subject to talk about in the wrestling community.
Going over it in my mind, like, why did this happen?
Gotta wear the Eddie shirt.
Authorities say Benoit strangled his wife and suffocated his son before...
Dude, yeah, this is already a pretty heavy topic to talk about in the wrestling community already. So for them to do this episode, but also to do this episode as the first episode is wild. Absolutely wild.
That's not an easy statement for me to make.
That's not the Chris that I knew. There's so many details that are so crazy to understand. I need to talk about this. If you don't want to hear it, if you're going to give me shit about it later and say I'm glorifying him,
I'm a dude, but no problem admitting I'm an emotional guy. I already saw part 1 and shed some tears, and ooh, sorry, it disappeared. Hi, I really enjoy your SmackDown reviews. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, dude, we're starting with his... Damn! Oh no, the Corona! Sorry, the beer!
Benoit, son of Chris Benoit.
Damn, dude.
Wrestlers of all time, I believe.
Of course you believe. We all believe.
That was just his job. As soon as he got off the road, he was just that. That was it.
Damn.
No matter what. My own father took him to his very first show in Edmonton. And then he saw the Dynamite Kid.
I guess our Dynamite Kid also 214 from Liverpool.
And then he was like, yep, that's what I want to do. My dad, he looked up to him. That was his...
The way they shoot these, of him like cheering in the crowd, so good.
And then he would do his signature flying headbutt.
Oh man.
He'd climb up to the top rope, jump off spread eagle, and connect.
Look at the spark in his son's eye.
His ass in the ring every single night. Gave it 120%, no matter what.
Man.
I got my very first.
Hitting the feels already.
You
hit in the fields. I'm gonna lean more towards this way, so I'm gonna do that.
Radar as a pro wrestler since, gosh, the 80s. I'm Jim Ross.
Hell yeah, you are.
74.
Cheers to Jim Ross. Although he's kind of a creep now. You guys watching him on
I'm a wrestling fan.
Twitter?
If you're a wrestling fan, how could you not be a fan of Chris Benoit's work? He's always considered one of the best workers ever, even when he's young.
True.
He was just a
Thank
natural.
you. I'm trying to load this up. Hold on.
For a long time, almost 30 years, and watching Chris Benoit was one of the reasons why I really enjoyed Stampede Wrestling and why I started really thinking maybe I could.
Trying to pull up your comments. Hold on one second.
If you watch Stampede Wrestling, you could tell that the guys were smaller guys. They were not as tall as the giants that you could find in the WWF. I thought, wow, like they're kind of my size. So in that aspect, someone like Chris Benoit was kind of an early influence on me.
Yay, I got your comments. Okay, I cried at the end because it was deep and so hard to talk about. Dude, I haven't seen the first part. This part. So, I don't really know.
His first job was wrestling, and his last job was wrestling. All he ever did was wrestling. The only thing he ever got a paycheck from was wrestling. I was a huge fan of Chris Benoit right off the get. He's the
Oh my god. Dean Malenko. I've only seen the first part on YouTube and still not ready for this. Yep. Hello, beautiful. Hello. So I may be in the minority, but I believe Chris Benoit should be. We'll get to that one second.
He's probably one of the most focused individuals I've ever seen in any sport for that matter. Chris took nothing less than being perfect.
Ooh.
I did a few tours with Benoit over in Japan, and we had a match. I gave him a spin kick, and I didn't hit him in the head with it, nor should you. It's wrestling. We worked together to put on a show. He felt like he took it the wrong way. He felt that he exposed the business with his ineptitude. Meanwhile, I bet you nobody noticed anything because a quick kick goes by. You take a bump. It's not on TV. Who cares? He cared.
That wig is trash.
Doing hack squats, like Hindu squats, where you just go up and down. 1, 2. And I go, what's wrong? He's like, oh, I messed up that kick, and I have to do squats now. I'm like, why? Who told you to do squats? Are you in trouble? Like, no, I'm just doing them on my own. I screwed up. I'm doing 500 squats.
Oh, so he's always been fucked
That
up.
was it. It's like he had to purge himself.
So he's always been
himself
fucked up.
for making this minor mistake. Like, to him was everything. And Eddie was like that too.
Wrestling fans, of course, all know who Eddie Guerrero is. To many in the wrestling world, he was considered as one of the absolute best wrestlers of all time. Chavo Guerrero Jr., third-generation professional wrestler from the legendary Guerrero family.
Give me 1 second.
When he was about 18, he started really training for wrestling, started wrestling all over Mexico, and then transitioned to Japan and became one of their top stars and was called Black Tiger.
He was this tall Mexican guy with long hair and cowboy boots and hands that were tight. And I loved his ass, and I thought he was the most gorgeous guy.
Oh, really? Excuse me. Too much information.
Former WWE superstar. And I fell in love with Eddie. He loved wrestling. He ate it. He dreamt it. He was always doing promos in the bathroom mirror. He was always showing me, hey, can I try this move on you and tell me if it hurts? Those were kind of fun days in the bed. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Those were good times.
Super nice.
Vicky extra horny.
Very friendly. Would give you the shirt off his back.
I mean, Eddie's hot.
Like you could just tell the sweetness just exuded from this guy. A little bit crazy, as any wrestler can be, especially from that generation. Very small, though. When we were in Japan, the referee Hattori used to call him the Mexican flamingo. Big upper body, small legs.
Thanks, whoever just subscribed. If you're watching, thank you, Hector. You should be drinking Modelo's. No. Why? Support Corona. This has nothing to fucking do with the virus.
Eddie would call me and be like, man, I can't stand this asshole. Like, he's such a prick, and, I can't believe I have to work with him for the next week or two.
I think even in today's
We gotta go back and watch those matches.
out there, yeah, I'll go back and watch those matches. You guys got-
Jinx, Dean, you owe me a soda.
wanted to be like those guys. You know, I'm like, that's why my name was Lionheart for so long. Because I wanted to be an animal like those guys. Eddie was Black Tiger. Chris was Pegasus Kid, Wild Pegasus. Those two just saw things differently. And that was part of what made them so great.
The more they fought, I think the more that they started, respecting each other. They hit it off, and they ended up just, being the best of friends.
These particular earrings are up here that my sister wore as woman on.
Hi, Carlos.
I decided.
What's up, Chris? You've been keeping the comment section alive, and there's 19 people here. Let's I mean, we're all watching.
My sister Nancy was married right out of
She was
high school.
beautiful, dude.
Her first husband was a huge wrestling fan and got her to going to the matches, and she really liked it. There was
that Harley Race?
I don't know if it was a promoter or another manager that picked her out of the crowd. She's a beautiful woman. The first time
Dream. Pick me out of the crowd and just be like, hey, you wanna fucking be a part of this wrestling show?
She met Kevin Sullivan in Florida Championship Wrestling.
Hey, let me tell you something.
He's probably one of the greatest promoters and bookers that's ever worked in wrestling.
Kevin Sullivan, who was this satanic character, and he was satanic
Goals.
because he shaved an X into his chest hair and put makeup on, That was about the extent of his Satanism, He would wear a hood.
And they had an instant connection as friends, and then not shortly after that, were
Her hair, dude. I want to rock that hair.
in the process of divorcing her first husband. So Kevin, he had this idea in his head to grow this gimmick of he's the Prince of Darkness, and he has this army of darkness behind him, and Nancy by his side as the fallen angel.
Welcome to Polynesian Pro Wrestling. I'm Angel, your co-host, and here's my master, Kevin Sullivan.
No, Angel, you've done a fine job.
The name Fallen Angel came from your right album. And the cover of it had this beautiful woman in a leatherish bikini with feathers and a sword, and she looks at that cover.
I want that outfit.
And that's the gimmick.
She's good at what she did. Probably one of the first that really understood the art of being a valet or a second, so to speak. She's an instrumental part in getting heat,
Look at her.
as you like to say.
People would stop her. They recognized her. They believed she was possessed. She'd be getting gas, and they would come over and like, we're just gonna lay hands on you and pray for your soul. And she loved it because she knew if they hate me, I'm absolutely doing my job.
She wasn't a wrestler, but she was very valuable as a ringside performer. And that's a lost art. Now, there's no such thing. Every girl in the business has to be a wrestler. She wasn't that, but she probably knew the business better than most.
She did Kevin's makeup.
That's what I want to do. Sorry, I realize I have a mic and I'm like yelling. But that's what I want to do.
We had duffel bags full of boa constrictors all around us.
Oh, yeah.
How would you describe their dynamic, like what they saw in each other?
Nancy and Kevin's? Oh man. He worshipped her, and she was all in with him. She was in love. And their dynamic was awesome. So they moved to WCW. It was a big step up, obviously, so from what they were doing.
WCW.
Look at that mullet.
Where the big boys play.
Yep.
Dean Malenko, Chris Benoit, and Eddie Guerrero were the three amigos. All three of them came to WCW together.
What do they call this guy up north? The Canadian crippler? Did you see that?
Kevin was hooked at the time. Booking productions,
This is
booking
good.
talent for storylines. Everyone kept talking about this really great technical wrestler that was coming out. I knew he was new to the company, and I know
This
that
is good,
my
dude.
brother-in-law wanted to book him.
I just knew Nancy is the fallen angel character. Then getting to WCW, she was woman.
I am woman. So men, look at it, wish you had it, and eat your heart out.
Woman was the one character she was attached to because it was most like her actual personality.
I'm gonna watch your every move, Ric Flair.
I'll see you at the clash, big boy. She's independent. She takes nothing from anyone, and it's gotta help you if you get in her way.
That's me.
I know Kevin really liked
What's
Chris.
going on?
Enjoyed working with him. And
It's
at
21
that
people.
time, Kevin was booking Chris and himself into matches, and Nancy kind of became a part of it. Things were kind of happening a little weird, but nobody really knew what was going on.
Kevin Sullivan. It started out as you and I, and then you brought Nancy into it.
The joke in the business
Oof.
is that always that Kevin Sullivan booked his own divorce. It's funny to a point. Yes.
Oh, kind of true.
Certain that
Sorry, I'm gonna fix this up a bit. Oh, commercial time. Let's talk, people. Let's talk. So what are we thinking? Seems like this is going to be pretty... It's already off to a great start. For those of you that have watched the first hour, what... from this point, what did you think about it? It seems like this hour is definitely going to go into his relationship with Eddie. That's kind of cool because you're kind of knocking out an Eddie Guerrero episode in this. I mean, we should probably get a full Eddie Guerrero episode of Dark Side of the Ring, but that was the one thing that I heard from a lot of you guys about this episode was like, oh, Eddie, oh man, it made me cry so much. It made me cry so much. And if you remember, when they did the Eddie tribute, what was it, Monday Night Raw? It was Monday Night Raw, right? Was it SmackDown? Monday Night Raw. Benoit was crying his eyes out. So, yeah, we should definitely get Alexandria, Alex, hello. We should definitely get an Eddie Guerrero episode. You are right. You are absolutely right. Randall, Kevin Sullivan's booking between Nancy and Chris was good for storyline, but backfired in real life. Ooh, true. Julian Smith said, I remember he broke Sabu's neck at the 1994 ECW November to Remember. Were you there live? Sorry if I can't really... I got my glasses on, so the computer's pretty far away. Hector said, I think that broke Chris Benoit to me that's what Eddie's death. Okay, so you're saying that you think what broke Chris Benoit was Eddie's death? Yeah. Yeah, I'd believe it. Hello, Brandon. I totally believe it. Christopher says it was Monday Night Raw. Okay. Isn't this episode of Dark Side of the Ring on HBO's YouTube channel, if I'm not mistaken? I think it's Vice is what you're thinking of. I know it's on Vice's YouTube channel. I don't think this is on HBO. Unless it's in a different... In New York, it's Vice. Shaquille says, it was the Raw when they did the tribute, and it was the day after Guerrero passed. Stevie McBride, this episode is awesome. Stevie, what's up? This episode is awesome. I'm pretty glad I did not watch it on YouTube. I'm glad I could. That's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to like sit down and watch the whole thing. Your boy Chris. Hey Queen, what's going on? Moe Best. Hey now. What Eddie shirt is that, by the way? Oh, this shirt is the Eddie shirt. WWE. Ooh, we're back on. Latino Heat. Dean Malenko.
Chris Benoit, who all came in together, they loved it. They were happy when they were, getting some props. Because even them being smaller in a sense, they were the workhorses. You could always count on them.
Oof. That's a good match.
So Kevin Sullivan, the booker, the story maker, writes the story and has this idea to have a woman who is Nancy leave Kevin's side and start going with Kevin's arch rival, who is Chris Benoit.
What's it feel like losing the most important thing that you ever had?
WCW would film vignettes with Chris and Nancy.
It's all a shoot.
together.
It's all a shoot.
Sure feels great.
What they didn't plan for is that really happened. Nancy left Kevin Sullivan to go with Chris Benoit.
Kevin was
Look at Jericho right in the back.
Kind of being his right-hand person, and with her focusing on her own career, I think there were strains there. There were a couple of physical altercations in the house, fights that escalated.
Nancy would reach out to Chris whenever she would have a bad night with Kevin, and Chris was her safe haven, you know, where she would go wherever he was at.
Chris was going through problems with his wife at the time, so two people kind of gravitating toward each other because they're, having difficulties.
So I got a call from my husband telling me that Nancy has had some problems and could I help her? I was working in a psychiatrist's office and Chris
Thanks for the subscribe.
brought her in to see me, and she came in and removed her sunglasses and she had a huge black eye.
Oh no.
Kevin had done that to her, and I just told her that I'm gonna help you in any way we can. We need to document this. I was really hoping to try to help her get out of that abusive relationship. I just saw it as being it's gonna blow up.
Bash at the beach was in Daytona Beach at the Ocean Center. It was Kevin Sullivan going against Chris. It was a great match, I thought. It looked super realistic. And then at one point, Chris and Kevin really started exchanging blows. Chris hit Kevin really hard on the side of the head, and it broke his eardrum. The match ended, but the fight continued backstage.
Ooh, we're really getting into it.
Backstage. I started to walk towards Kevin, and Chris is like, no, don't do that. And Kevin's yelling from the other end of the hallway, come on, come with me, we're leaving. Chris handed me the phone, and it was my sister on the other end. She said, Sandra, get out of there, come home, come to the condo. And just go with Chris. Do not go with Kevin. And I always do what my sister says, so that's what I did. No explanation needed. I went to the condo, and my sister came out to talk to me, and she was physically hurt. She explained to me that her injuries were from Kevin, and that Chris had helped her, and that she was leaving Kevin. She had to.
And was approached for comment for these allegations. He denies any abuse ever took place. That means it did take place.
That she really needed it. So for that, he instantly had my thanks and my admiration. And she was in love, more in love than I'd ever seen her in my life.
They
No.
looked at each other. We're like, oh yeah, it's gonna work. And Nancy and I became best of friends.
Chris decided that he wanted to push his career forward a little bit.
Yo, Benoit was hot.
Really
Benoit was hella hot.
focus on building the house and starting a family. And then all of a sudden, Daniel was born. I've never seen Chris so beyond himself, just excited.
This is my favorite page because this was during Chris and Nancy's wedding, and Daniel was the best man, of course. This is the love that Chris and Nancy always had. And then here's them feeding Daniel after they got married. And Nancy being the princess that she was.
Tears are starting up already.
Was there too, Chris's oldest.
David is the son of Chris Benoit from Chris's first marriage.
Nancy, she
Okay.
like I was her own kid. We didn't use the word step in our family,
Dude, that must have been really hard for him to talk about that, too.
With Daniel and Nancy and
Yeah, they're coming.
This is my very favorite photo.
They'll come hard pretty soon, hopefully. Definitely towards the very end.
I mean, that's what siblings are. You hang on to one another and hope for the best for each other.
you look up to me, I loved him. I protected him. We wanted to be tag team champions. That's what we wanted to do. Be the tag team champions of the world together.
So in WCW, there
Damn.
was definitely
Damn.
a ceiling that you would reach.
The bigger guys were getting all the TV spots.
You crying? I'm not crying yet.
Tall and huge muscles, you didn't get the main event.
Chris was getting a little irritated about the situation happening at WCW at the time. Never seeing herself in the main event spot because we kept getting pushed down. So we decided to take a walk.
The Radicals! The Radicals! Boom. That's all you need. That's all you need against the New Age Outlaws. At that, too. The New Age Outlaws were, like, pretty big. For them to just, like, roll up and be like, we're gonna interrupt you guys.
View of the business and seeing like we see this, they saw this. And he became one of the best characters of all time.
Oh, China.
One of the best in-ring champions. And Benoit became just this killer, no nonsense Clint Eastwood performer. It was like Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, make my day.
That's a good explanation of Chris Benoit's, like Chris Benoit.
He was in the main event for years. It was always a matter that he was too short. Proceeding is too short. Imagine that. I always thought, man, getting Benoit here, it's going to create these great matchups. And it did. It was a no-brainer.
Too short.
Chris was always very
Like, he's fine.
great father. Very much about his family. His kids were always high up on his list.
Oh,
When Daniel got a little older,
I'll put it a little louder for you, Anthony.
of course, anytime when Chris brought the kids around, we'd all play with them.
Just let me know if you can't, if it's a little too loud, but
Certain things. I remember at one point,
and let me know if I'm a little too loud, because I know I need to, like, tone it down a little bit. But hopefully you guys can still, hear me with the mic.
Father's Day too, like,
Give me a, if it,
those
the
days off.
this volume's okay.
It's almost like he didn't want to ask for days off because, sacrificing for his art,
I was gonna burp.
I guess you would say. And there's a similarity between Chris and Eddie in that both of them sacrificed
That picture is
a lot
great.
for their art. Chris and Eddie basically gave their life for pro wrestling.
Jericho. Okay. This is like no disrespect to Jericho. Like, I don't think he's a hokey or anything like that. Or hokey? Is that even a word? But I feel like Jericho oversells them, which is fine. Like, I'm not complaining about it. I don't think using the term overselling is a bad thing. I think he does a great job though, because it's true. What's in the correct? It's the only thing that was in the fridge. Calm down. All right, comment time. Moe, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we met at Buffalo Wild Wings for AEW Evolute. Oh, what? We did? Oh, I'm watching this and Impact at the same time, too. That's cool. Also, hey, what's up? What's going on, dude? If I saw a picture of your face, I'd definitely remember you. But what's going on? Oh, thank you guys. Okay, cool. The audio's doing good. Suicide returned at Impact. I'm not watching Impact. I haven't watched Impact probably since I went to the taping last year. Ooh. Oh, well. So, what are we thinking so far? Where are we at time? 9:27. Okay, so I'm guessing this last 30 minutes is going to be Eddie's time and his death. Woo, we're getting into it. The tears were coming when he was talking about his brother and how him and his brother wanted to be the tag team champions. Like, that got me for sure. And also, not for nothing, I'm not going to get too deep, but the Nancy getting hit by Kevin Sullivan, like, whole story bit, that got me because I also, when I was 18, was in an abusive relationship. So, like, I kind of felt for her, and that shit almost got me. But pretty good episode. Also, I feel like a lot of people said that they shouldn't have started with the Chris Benoit episode, but I think this is a great episode to start off the second season. The first season had such high praise, and they covered a good amount of the general wrestling topics, but now they're like diving deep into this season, especially with this episode. This topic is just the overall hot topic in wrestling ever. No matter how long, like in the year 2030, I bet if Chris Benoit still isn't in the Hall of Fame, this fake Hall of Fame that WWE has, a lot of people will still say, oh, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I think that this episode might shine a light towards the argument that he should be in the Hall of Fame, because they're very much mapping it out that he was the greatest wrestler, and he was. He absolutely was. I mean, he definitely had some, I don't want to say loose screws, but for him to just do those freaking, to punish himself after a match like that, there's something going on. But see, I don't think that behavior would trigger what he did. I definitely think the CTE triggers what he did. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Someone retracted their message. What the hell were you going to say? I'm supposed to go to Rebellion in April, but I don't know. Yes, prepare for some tears. Kevin still denies it. I mean, dude, I think he did it. You can tell how much it still affects David, and it just really hurt. Dude, yeah, of course that would still affect him. Dude, you're like the person that you would, I mean, oh, it's back. Never mind. We'll get to that in 1 second. Let's continue watching.
You know, sometimes you'd be in the locker room and Eddie's naked in the locker room reading scriptures to other wrestlers and telling them about God.
Chris wasn't religious at all, and Eddie was the one that would start introducing him about God. And Chris was very receptive, and he always listened to Eddie. And Eddie had even given him a Bible one Christmas. And Chris always had that on him, and that was something that meant a lot to Eddie. To always be a witness to Chris, you know, and to help him try to find his higher power.
Chris is very quiet, very reserved, and it took a while for him to trust somebody.
Eddie would be his go-to guy. He'd go and talk to him about certain things, you know, whether it be marriage problems or family or professional problems. They'd always confide in each other, and that's what their friendship was. And I know that Chris didn't have that with a lot of people.
Chris, he was blowing up. He was getting bigger as a wrestler. And to have Nancy behind him, he was really happy. She was the driving force and motivation, sort of taking care of everything else that wasn't related to wrestling. She wanted him to be happy and to be successful and to be with his best friend.
Eddie was injured a lot. He had a lot of pain, a lot of injuries that, you know, he couldn't get operations for. And as a wrestler, you never say that you need time off, because as soon as you're off TV for 4 or 6 months, you know, someone else is going to come and replace you. And that was something that was always in Eddie's mind. You know, I was like, I can't stop now.
Everything he did was wrestling, even to the point where I know he was in a lot of pain, but he still wanted
Conan.
to wrestle. That's what he does. That's what he did. That's who he was. And there was also a lot of, I mean, let's be honest, we're all adults. We all did the same shit. There's a lot of drinking. There's a lot of drugs.
But the more that Eddie was trying to hide his injuries with the drugs and the alcohol, it was just getting to a downward spiral.
You know, I saw Chris several different times to make sure that Eddie was tucked in bed okay, you know, and put on his side so he wouldn't throw up on himself. But then Eddie started getting DUIs, and crashing his car, and, you know, having overdose problems.
There was 3 ODs that Eddie did in our house. The first 2, I called the ambulance. And all they did was release him the next afternoon. They just sent him home. The 3rd time, I just let him lay there. I actually left and took the girls to school and just told God, if you're going to take him, just take him now, because it was a bad place in my life.
A lot of wrestlers were dying from substance abuse issues, and in the back of your mind, always you're like, man, is Eddie going to be one of those? Is he going to be a statistic?
Eddie showed up to work high one day where he was in bad shape, and I think that when they saw that and Eddie couldn't perform, that's when they said, we're gonna go ahead and let you go. He called me and said, well, I got fired. I finally was like, well, thank God. I mean, because now the worst that could ever be imagined is happening.
They sent him to rehab, lost everything, and had to go from the depths of hell and work his way up the system again.
Little by little, he started changing his life to get clean.
After that, his wife came back, his family came back, his life came back.
And that's where Eddie got rehired from WWE, and things were great. He was in the best shape.
WrestleMania 20, the fans knew the
In Madison Square Garden.
So the night in New York, it's the right time for both these guys.
Me and Nancy were watching from the skybox. We were jittery and we were nervous and we were excited and we were stressed too because we didn't know, if they were going to win or what the outcome was. When Eddie won, it was pure joy.
HBK.
See my dad in the ring? He was my hero. I remember like yesterday, man. Jumped up after he won the belt.
Tap out.
Nancy and I were crying and the girls were excited. And of course you see the confetti and all the fans just on their feet.
And then I got to see Eddie Guerrero go out there. Best friend. What a moment. I'll never forget that.
And that's why that's one of the best moments in not just wrestling history, I think TV history. It was the happy storybook ending of WrestleMania.
I think I got in the office finally. Saw those guys for what they were. It was my favorite time, my favorite match. I wish those two just retired right after that, to be honest with you.
Damn, they're gonna go to commercial now.
So you can follow your order. Or not.
Whoa. Give me 1 second. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Oh. Damn. Gotta go back and watch that WrestleMania. I actually recently just watched Kurt versus Eddie. I watched that on Friday. You hear my voice? Chris Benoit versus Booker T, best of 7. The way Eddie had issues between 2000 and 2001. Yeah, dude. As someone who has dealt with substance abuse for years of emotional pain, I wish I could trade my life for Eddie's. He meant something to... Chris, don't say that. Chris, don't say that. If anything, use Eddie Guerrero's death to live life and know that there is more to life. And I'm sure right now things are rough in your life. I don't know what's going on in your life. This is probably the first time we've met. But don't say that. I know it's easy to think that, especially with what's going on in the world right now, but don't say that. Just, dude, I know, trust. I know all about substance abuse and depression and anxiety, and I don't want to fucking live anymore. Trust that I do know that. There's so much more to live for. Trust me. Fucking trust me. Cheers to you, Chris. Sorry, Chris. I didn't mean to call you out. Chris, don't say that. We as a wrestling community, we are a family. And we are unfortunately stuck with each other, especially for this lockdown. And dude, Chris, I know things are rough, and especially now, dude, I know. Trust that I fucking know. dude, during this lockdown, it's crazy. I'm a bartender. Oh no. Might have to, oh no. Okay, I might have to take off the mic for a second because I have it hooked up and I have to charge my phone because I'm streaming on my phone. So hold on just 1 second. Also, I just want to point out, I know how dirty this AC is. It's winter. I did not clean it. I'm sorry. I'm aware that it is dirty. I know through the the video it looks janky. This area looks janky, but this is the only like good spot that I could watch this. I'm sorry. So now I'm going to take out my mic and go. Hold on. You know what I might do actually? I might just God damn it. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I might just take out my mic while the show is on, and then during the commercial I'll like plug back my mic so that we could talk.
Or friendship between
Like now.
two wrestlers, as I did between Chris and Eddie.
Woo!
Real
WWE
shit out of the
Demon Diva, I see you.
relationship.
So there's a super show in Minneapolis. We got a flight to Minneapolis. It's a few hours, so Eddie's sitting and talking to me, and then he kind of just
One second.
See, so I'm like, well, I didn't know that this had been happening to Eddie. He started talking to people and passed out in the middle of a sentence. So we get off the plane in Minneapolis, check into our hotel that we always go to, and we had seen Chris in the lobby also. Say, I'll see you down in the morning. Okay. 7 o'clock, and we're gonna go work out. It's set. You know, 3 of us together, straight west. Eddie goes to his room, I go to my room. Next morning, I get a call about 5:30. It's like, what's going on? He goes, well, your uncle didn't answer his wake-up call. So we came to his room and knocked. No answer. With the latch on, that means someone's in here. So they cut the latch off. I walk in and I look in the bathroom, I see Eddie face down. He's in his underwear, his toothbrush was in his hand. I grab him, I kind of try to shake him, and he's moving, and I hear him gurgling, like, and I'm like, Eddie, wiping his face, and he's like, he's still there, man, and we're trying, and then all of a sudden, he's in my arms, and he's not there.
Oh.
He passed in my arms, like literally. I haven't been to this moment in a long time. Then I get a call from Chris, and Chris goes, "Hey man, I'm downstairs. Where are you?" "Hey man, they're sitting down." He goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Eddie passed away this morning." And all you hear is from a guy with no emotion whatsoever, you hear a wail. Just this wail from deep down, like a heartbreak. If you've ever heard what this was, a heartbreaking.
The feds called me. And he said, "Good Vicky." And he's just crying. I'm just like, I go, "Is it true? Eddie's passed away." He said, "I'm sorry."
Chris went over there, kind of knelt down, just steady on the forehead. I went over there, and I'm kind of like the same thing. And it was hard. I mean, here's your buddy that you've been with for 8, 10 years, every day pretty much.
He didn't relapse. The verdict was heart disease at 38.
I remember the day that my sister called me hysterical. I couldn't even understand her. You need to take some breaths and you need to tell me what's going on. She couldn't even get the words out. When she told me, I burst into tears. And I thought about the kids. And Vicky really, just flashed in my head. And then my next thought was, oh my God, Chris.
Raw tribute show.
The tribute the WWE did couldn't have been any better. Yeah, the whole stage was filled with everyone from backstage. But all I can remember was Chris. He was just crying.
Now I know that I love you. I miss you.
I've seen that before, but it still gets me.
He's passing in his life. And Chris did it, which is really, really difficult to do. Chris had a hard time getting through it. Thank you for my heart and tell you that I love you and I'll never forget you. And I will see you again. I love you, Eddie. I believe it was very hard for him, you know. I even cried after for him. Funerals are never good, but Eddie's funeral was very hard. When I saw Benoit, he came and gave me a hug, but it was like the most desperate, saddest, I'm hanging on for dear life hug that you could ever get. Deep, hitching sobs, and leaving literally a patch of wetness on the shoulder of my suit that soaked through to the shirt, went through the jacket and shirt with tears.
I'd never seen Chris show emotion before. You know, of course, it affected all of us, but I just think it affected Chris just like so much more. It affected Chris like a spouse or something.
Coming up right after Dark Side of the Ring, it's Dark Side of the Ring After Dark.
All right. Hold on. Can you guys hear me better now or with the mic? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me better with this or with the mic. I'm sure you can hear me better with the mic. Art the Wrestling Nerd. Having Eddie and Chris die like they did made me so sad, but I'll never forget the legendary matches. Okay, cool. I'll just stay like this. Damn, dude. That got me. That got me big time. I've seen that Chris Benoit tribute video before, but yeah, dude, Chavo. Someone give Chavo a hug, dude. Oh man. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my God. It feels weird to cry the same way I cried all those years ago. Yeah. See, here's the thing with Eddie. I was watching WWE when Eddie died. So you could see my Cyclops pop on the floor. But when Eddie died, I was still watching wrestling. So that was devastating for sure. But when did he die? Like 04? 02? 03? I feel like I was a little too young to really grasp the concept of what's going on. It's fucking lipstick. 05. Okay, so I was like in middle school. So I was still watching. I remember, yes, I was watching in middle school because I was deeply in love with Shawn Michaels and I was reading his book in middle school and I got in trouble in the 8th grade for reading his book while I was in class, but class was boring. Anyway, so I was definitely still watching then. And when Eddie died, I feel like I was maybe just a bit too young to really grasp the concept of what was going on. I understood that he died, but everything else with like overdosing, I just, grew up and then that's when I learned it. But when Benoit died, I was not watching. And because he died 07? Damn, was it 07? I was not watching then, that's for sure. Or maybe I was. No, I was watching here and there. And I knew that he died and then at the beginning I was like, oh, he just died. And then I found out he killed himself. And then I found out he killed himself and his wife and his son. And I was like, damn, that sucks. But then it was, you know, later in life was when it was like, oh, this is all like CTE shit. All right, cool. I mean, that's what it is, right? I don't know. I met Eddie Guerrero for the first time in 1997, and I always thought he was small, but man, he was so ripped, and it was impressive how big he was in real life. How was that, meeting Eddie Guerrero? Like, you need to go a little deep into how you met him. Where was it? Was it at a show? Dude, I know if Vanessa is still on, my friend Vanessa met Eddie Guerrero when she was young, and she has a picture with Eddie Guerrero. And dude, that's my favorite picture that she has that she posts. But man, it's really cool to meet people that have met like Eddie and Chris and oh, it's back on, guys.
Not only did it end Chris and Eddie's relationship, in a lot of ways it kind of ended mine with him too. I think he just became more and more of a hermit and didn't want to see people that he knew. I remember seeing him at Eddie's funeral, and the WWE guys had to leave her after the funeral to fly to Europe. You have Chris who has this horrible damage done to him, where he's crying, sobbing, the lowest point of his life, and as soon as the funeral's done, he goes on a plane and flies to Europe to wrestle. I didn't get that. You know, I thought if there's ever a time to take some time off or to give someone some time off, I think Chris needed to be away from stuff for a while, but I think he just continued on because he didn't know what else to do. He didn't handle it well. Let me just say it like that.
I was in bed like for the first week after we buried Eddie, and Nancy was the first one at the house, and she helped me with everything. I mean, she was the one who was making sure that the kids were fed. Finally, she just like walked in my room and she's like, enough. She goes, enough. Get up and shower. Get up because you have two girls that still love you and they need you. And I didn't want to do anything. And she threw me in the shower. She got the girls dressed. And she goes, we're going to lunch. She was my angel in so many ways.
She just immediately went into planning mode. I'm gonna help with this and I'm gonna do that. And I mean, that was her knee-jerk reaction to grief and heartache. But Chris locked down.
And Nancy stayed with me for a month after Eddie passed away. And Chris would come in when they were off. And I would find Chris on Eddie's side of his bed. And Chris would just be laying there crying, holding Eddie's pillow. Eddie had a beautiful gym upstairs. And I would go upstairs and the girls would come down and they'd say, Mom, Chris is crying again.
Mom, Chris is crying again.
And Chris would just be sitting on the bench just crying. He goes, I'm lost without Eddie being here. To see him just crying in my arms, it was very emotional. There's this big, strong man who is tough and quiet and strong. He broke my heart. You know, but then you see Chris, you know, around the other wrestlers or in a meeting, and he had his face on. So professional, like you wouldn't even think that anything was bothering him. But Chris was getting more and more distant, where he was not being seen as much backstage, you know, where I couldn't find him. Like Nancy would call me and be like, how's Chris doing today? And I said, well, I haven't seen him.
She talked to me about it several times.
Oof,
She
that
was
picture.
Like, there's something going on, and I don't know what it is. You gotta tell me if you notice something. And I was like, yes, there's something up. He just seemed different. He was talking more about other wrestlers that had had children kidnapped and fans that went sideways and were violent. He used to take different cars and different ways to the gym that we had been going to for years. It was super random. He just didn't want to be places and be seen. There was a level of paranoia we had never ever seen before.
Nancy started getting really worried. She's like, I'm really worried for Chris. This is really affecting him in so many ways. He was just sad all the time, depressed. He was impatient. There was a lot of fighting going on for reasons that she didn't understand why he would be upset. And she would just be like, life is just really hard right now. Like, Chris is just irritable and he doesn't want to talk to me. He's mad all the time. You know, he was just mad at life in general.
There were a few months where he completely closed off, not really even talking to Nancy, not really talking to anyone. So we got Chris a journal so that he could write to Eddie. I think that after we got him that journal is when he started opening up a little bit more, because writing to him, he started feeling like maybe Eddie was with him in spirit or in heart by just being able to talk to him every day.
Was there any point when Nancy wanted Chris
Yes, you
to
can.
step away from wrestling at all?
That last year, she didn't think that it was healthy physically or mentally for him to be on the road.
Yes, you can tweet that out. I saw that I froze, but yes, you can.
He and his best friend used to be and do things together.
I remember talking to him, and he's like, every building I go to, all I can do is think of Eddie. Okay, we're in Kansas City. Last time I was here, Eddie was here. And now we're in New Mexico. Last time I was here, Eddie was here. I think all of those things were kind of signs that something really serious was going on with him.
He was so grief-stricken on a monumental level that she thought that staying in the company and staying in the business was going to eventually harm his well-being.
What makes you you? Yourself.
Woo!
Trillions of them.
Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. Dude. Dude, I'm already pretty roughed up. I know a lot of people have seen this first hour, but now we are about to get into the second hour of this Chris Benoit episode. And this, I feel, is this second hour. I feel like this second hour is going to fuck us all up. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be great. Let's look at the comments right now. For Chris, losing Eddie was like losing a brother. Yeah, dude, Brian, I was just thinking that. I was like, dude, he lost his brother. Imagine, I can only imagine like the person that I guess you could say, ooh, I'm out of frame. I guess you could say like, introverts. I don't think Chris Benoit maybe was an introvert, but like someone that's really like kept to themselves and doesn't really open up about their feelings, and you finally find someone who is a mutual in this business that you are in, and you can finally talk about all of your feelings about the business and life on the road and leaving your family behind to do what you love to do. Like, Eddie was that person for Chris. So when Eddie died, like, Chris didn't have that anymore. So, dude, I can only imagine. Being in Benoit's shoes in that moment of time after, like, life without Eddie Guerrero. Because that hard for all of us still as fans, but as someone who was very, very close to him, I can only imagine. I can only imagine how you think with that. Joining late, but it looks like they're starting a new hour soon. They are. You just joined in. Better late than never. Chris was straight up broken after losing Eddie. Yeah, dude. I feel bad. Isn't Chris Jericho narrating this documentary? I could be wrong. I think it was just more so they were highlighting Chris Jericho because he's an active wrestler right now on AEW and he's on this show. So
Myself and Scott Armstrong.
back on, guys.
Together. And then they get a call from Chris, and he goes, "Oh man, I'm not gonna make it." Like, what's wrong? He goes, Daniel and Nancy have food poisoning, and I'm just trying to take care of them. And I'm like, "Oh man, are you good? You right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I said, "Well, tomorrow we're in Houston for the pay-per-view." So he goes, "Okay, great." I said, "Okay, man." And he goes, "Chavo." I go, "Yeah?" And he goes, "I love you." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I love you too, man." That was weird. And I go, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm just really tired." And I said, "Okay, man. Okay, well, you can call me if you need to get any problem." "Okay, well, I will." So then, that's it. About 5:30 in the morning, I get a text, and it was from Chris's phone. And it said, "The dogs are in the enclosed pool area, and the back door is open." So I'm half asleep, and I see this text, and I'm like, "The heck is that?" All of a sudden, 30 seconds later, I get another text. from Nancy's phone, and it says the exact same thing. I was like, that's weird. I get another text right afterwards, tells me his physical address. What is that? So I disregarded, thinking I'm picking Chris up in 3 hours at the airport. So then, I meet Scott downstairs. We go get breakfast, and I talk to him. I'm like, hey, man, did you get a weird text from Chris? He goes, yeah, I did. I said, what did it say? And he said the exact same thing. We drive to Corpus Christi for the next show. Still no word from Chris. So the head of talent relations, Johnny Ace, asked me, hey, Chavo, have you heard from Chris? And I said, no. I said, but look, Johnny, and I pick up my phone and I show him. These are the texts that I got from Chris yesterday. And Johnny, in his raspy voice, is like, Chavo, why didn't you show us these yesterday? And I'm like, look, man, we're covering for Chris. We didn't know where he was. You didn't know where he was.
The office is starting to get concerned because it was getting to be like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So Vince McMahon has sent a wellness check to his house.
My name is Dennis Fagan. I run the security for World Wrestling, and one of our wrestlers that lives down there is missing. We need a welfare check done.
And what's his name?
Chris Benoit. It's spelled Benoit.
Okay, and he's a wrestler.
So this man calls a meeting at the ring.
Dean Malenko's sitting next to me. I just had this really bad feeling. Dean's like, there's something wrong. Something is not right.
That's when Vince McMahon stands up at the ring and says, we've just got word that Chris Benoit, Nancy, and Daniel have all passed away. And the gasps, of course, around the ring.
I remember Vicky, she just let out this hurling scream.
I freaked out and I started crying, and Dean kind of stood up and he grabbed my hand and took me off to the back.
So then Vince is backstage, and I walk up to Vince, and I said, what happened? What happened? And I'm a little frantic. And he says, they're gone. I said, what do you mean they're gone? And he hugs me super tight. And my head's on his shoulder, like crying to Vince, like, no, like, what happened? I don't understand. Nobody understood because no one knew the details yet.
I didn't know what was going on, but I heard enough to know that something's not right. If you would have lined up 100 people against the wall and said, name one that's going to kill his family, how could this be? Like, how could he have done this? He fooled us all.
Whoa. You're gonna jump to commercial after that? Oh my god. Okay, did anyone know that that was the way that everyone found out that day? I did not know that. I did not know. Maybe that's why we have Dark Side of the Ring, to let us know. But I did not know that was the way that everyone found out, dude. Fuck. Oh my god. Oh man. Oh, a true what the fuck moment. You have a good soul, Anthony. Oh, Anthony, what'd you do? I was in Jamaica, and then when I came back to the resort I was staying in and turned into Raw and saw it on the crowd about them. Oh man, Alex, you okay? Jamie, thanks. I'm okay. I'm okay. I shouldn't have worn makeup, but I'm okay. John, that's how the news broke. I mean, yeah, but whew. Yes, did you listen to Jericho's episode on it? I did not. If it was a recent episode, I haven't listened to Jericho after he had a fucking Trump. Sorry, but I'm not. After he had a Trump on the podcast, I checked out of Jericho's podcast. So if it was recent, I didn't listen to it. Oh, it wasn't recent? Then I didn't listen to it. I think Hornswoggle said that in a shoot interview. I have not seen that shoot interview. I heard... Cool. I'm gonna try to see it in a bit. I heard Chavo tell the story of how everyone found out, I think on Jericho's podcast. I don't know. I guess to be fair, I feel like I avoid this topic. I always get it, though. Like, I always get that question whenever I'm going on Instagram Live or anything. Like, oh, do you think Chris Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame? Wow, dude. Oh, man. Though. We've got another hour. And this is fucking me up. Yeah, I didn't know that was the way that they found out that day. That's how they died. I feel very bad for Vicky, Dean, Jericho. Dude, that's insane. That's crazy. It's a crazy way to find out that your friend died from your boss, who's fucking evil. Wow, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Anthony said, if it's okay, I'll message you later so you don't have to backtrack. Sure. Till this day, Chavo thinks Chris was set up. Really? Ooh, I hope he talks about it. Brian said, if there wasn't a pandemic, I would say everyone needs to give Alex a hug, and anyone watching this for that matter. Thank you. Randall, I did not fully understand everything when I watched the Benoit tribute episode of Raw that night. Yeah, I didn't understand it either, but I don't think they did either. Chris said, Chris Benoit was set up, in my opinion, and I think they have the investigator on this part too. He doesn't believe it either. What? So is that why we are starting off early with the incident? Because we are about to get deep into conspiracy theories? Because that's the thing. Like, there are some fucking conspiracy theories about this. Like that. I turned on the TV and it was all over the news. Wow, the documentary ends at 11. Yeah, boy, yeah. Hope you don't have a curfew. The investigator is speaking now. Oh, I'm a little... Here we are. Here we are. Here we go. Dude, this is so good so far.
Fayette County, Georgia, is a laid-back community. It's more of a family atmosphere. Not a whole lot of crime. It's pretty peaceful. My name is Larry Alden. I was with Fayette County Sheriff's Office. I was a lieutenant in charge of the shift that was working the day of the Benoit incident. I had been a detective for 15 or 20 years.
Hi, Lauren.
I'd probably see Chris Benoit maybe once or twice a week at the gym, which was right in the middle of Fayetteville. He didn't talk a lot, and he was pretty focused on getting his workout in. I never heard anything about him. I didn't even know where he lived at until the call came out on the radio that day.
My name is Dennis Stegg, and I run the security for World Wrestling, and one of our wrestlers that lives down there is missing. And what's his name? Chris Benoit. Okay, and he's a wrestler? Yeah, see, what happened, he's a religious gentleman, and yesterday he was supposed to show up at a pay-per-view and never got on the plane, never showed up. It's unwise. It's out of character for him. All right, we'll go ahead and send somebody out there to check on him. If you want to call us back in like 45 minutes or so, if he's there, we'll tell him to give you a call.
I was in my patrol car, just riding around the county. It was pretty close to the area when the call went out. I wasn't thinking of anything other than a welfare check.
Yeah, it's getting heavy. I already cried. I'm about to cry more.
I pulled up on the scene about the time the neighbor was walking over, and I walked up to them, and I asked if she had seen Mr. Benoit or anybody. And she said, it's been 3 or 4 days since I've seen anybody over there. There was 2 large canines in the yard. If I remember correctly, they were German Shepherds. We asked her if there was any place she could put the dogs at so we could go up there and do the welfare check. And she said, oh yeah, me and the dogs get along great. I feed them whenever they're out of town. And she jumped the fence. The dogs were right there with her. She walked them in there, never had to take hold to them. It was taking a little longer than I thought it should take. But then she came running out the door, screaming that Daniel's dead, Daniel's dead. I went from just being a regular welfare check, okay, we got something more serious here.
Oh, the music that they're using.
We crossed the fence at that time, myself and Deputy Mundy, and we made entry through the side door where she had left open. We drew our weapons, not knowing what was going to come upon them.
Police photos.
And they had plenty of windows in the house, so you had a lot of light coming in. There was an odor in the house. And I looked over at Deputy Mundy and said, something is dead in here. There was a set of stairs going up to a bedroom. So we went up those steps, and sure enough, that's where the juvenile child was at, laid in bed. I noticed
noticed the child was laying on the bed face down. Deputy Mundy said, "Do we need to start CPR?" And I said, "No, he'd passed away." We started clearing all the different rooms and doors. We found another room, and that's where we found Miss Benoit at. She was laying on the floor, and she was wrapped up in a blanket or maybe a rug or something like that.
Oh, these photos are eerie as hell.
Basement area, which was a couple of large open rooms. And the last door we opened was the gym door. And that's where Mr. Benoit was at. Because of the mirrors and at the angle Deputy Mundy was at to my right, she saw the reflection at the far end of the room, which might have been 5, 7, 10 feet away from where he actually was. And she started to say, "Show me your hands, Fayette County Sheriff's Department." She could not see. He had cable for one of his weight machines around his neck and had some weights on it. That's when I told her, I said, "He's sitting right here, he's passed away." Radio had called us, asked if everything was okay, and I told her on the radio that it looked like it might be a homicide and suicide. It was within 2 or 3 minutes of us walking back outside that somebody had already strung crime scene tape across the front of the property.
I was at the gym, and I remember I was driving home. My son was with me, and I got a call from
That's weird.
one of the writers from WWE who called me and said, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "What's going on here, dude?" And that's when he said, "Chris is dead." I said, "What? Chris who?" This is Chris Benoit. And I pulled over to the side of the road and just started bawling. And I remember my son, he said, "Daddy, you cry funny." I was just crying, I was bawling.
At this time, no one knew what happened. So WWE is just thinking that Chris Benoit has passed away, along with Nancy and Daniel. You're not trying to put together that, okay, did someone break in? Did carbon monoxide happen? What's going on? You just know that these two of your friends are gone, and no one has answers.
Vince McMahon, the chairman of the board, couldn't go on the air and not do anything. So we went on the air and did what we thought was right.
Tonight, this arena here in Corpus Christi, Texas, was to have been filled to capacity with enthusiastic WWE fans.
We tried to honor the guy, we tried to honor his family, we tried to honor his fans, but we didn't have a full story.
You should have.
Shame on us for that, I guess.
Yep.
So tonight will be a 3-hour tribute to one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time.
We just know that Chris Benoit is no longer with us, and neither is his family. Of course, I'm going to pay tribute to my friend.
And I would trust you with me, with my life, with my kids' lives. Because I know you, Chris. I know your heart.
Yeah, they called me and asked me if I wanted to be on it. And I was like, absolutely not. I remember just sitting there, like, just watching, like, dead. A bottle of vodka, just drinking, like, you know, because Eddie's was bad. This was worse.
Chris Benoit was not only one of the greatest wrestlers I ever saw, but he was one of the best friends I ever had in this business.
We did not know all the information. That's our fault. We were trying to serve the audience. It was a major story. It was hitting all the news sources, and we got a TV show. We wanted to update people on what the hell was going on. But we didn't have all the information. But we didn't know we didn't have all the information. We were told from the authorities, here's what happened. Oh, guess what? We're wrong. This is not what happened.
Chris was the type of guy you want to go to war with.
It was hard because at that time, some guys were, you know, in their speeches, you know, praising Chris.
Because Chris Benoit was my hero. I love you, Chris.
It's interesting to me because when I watched the Raw tribute and everybody was talking about Benoit and how great a performer he was and how amazing he was, I thought Regal's words on that night were very revealing.
Now all I'm willing to say is that Chris Benoit was undoubtedly the hardest working man in professional wrestling.
And when you talk to him afterwards, you find out he lived in the same city as Chris and knew a lot about whatever fights Nancy and him had or whatever Chris was going through at the time. And I'm not sure if a lot of people would have noticed it, but knowing what I knew about him, I started thinking, wow, this is not good.
Interesting.
Told me to spoil myself and go to the mall and get some makeup and have some wine with lunch and go watch a movie. I came out of the theater and I turned my phone on and I had like 22 missed calls from my parents. And my parents made sure that they wouldn't tell me anything. They wanted me to be parked in my driveway and inside my house before they told me. And that's how I found out. And then when it finally sunk in, I just absolutely lost control of myself. It was very difficult. Very difficult. I had to go to the hospital and be sedated.
I was in Edmonton, and then this number kept calling. My mom's cell phone, unknown number, unknown number, unknown number. And then she finally answered it, and it was the police, RCP. So we left, we rolled down to the station. She found out first. I see her crying there. She couldn't spit it out, so. The cop told me that they all passed away over the weekend. I punched them in the chest. And then me and the cop went for a walk. We talked. And that, you know, your dad loved you. They all loved you. And I thought it was a joke. I really did.
It wasn't until after the show and after the fact that all the details started coming in.
We have more for you now on a developing story in Fayette County. The deaths of a pro wrestler and his family. Fayetteville authorities say the bodies of Chris Benoit and his family were found this afternoon in their home.
Right now it's being investigated as a murder-suicide. However, until we get the crime lab reports, it's undetermined exactly what happened.
That's when all of this, you know, all of these details start coming out about. It's not just him that's dead, it's Nancy, and then Daniel's dead as well, and then that's when it just started getting out of control.
The father killed his wife and son and then committed suicide. That's what's happened here. He didn't want to believe it. Can't believe it. Can't be true. But it was.
Oh. Oh, man.
Chipotle. We know people love queso. So the all-new queso.
Woo!
It had to be real.
Dude, fucking hell. Fuck.
And nothing artificial.
David fucked me up, dude. Fuck. Oh, man. That's heavy. That's fucking heavy. Oh, man. Everyone doing all right? How are we doing out there? How are we doing? Damn, that... When David was talking, and he couldn't even get through that. And I can only imagine, like, everyone that's on this show, like,
It's not for everyone. Discovery for PrEP has not been studied in people assigned female at birth. Talk to your doctor to find out if it's right for you.
like the amount of, like, demons that you have to go through to accept that and bury it or handle it however you feel fit and what's best for you to handle it, and then to talk about it for entertainment purposes and bring up those feelings, dude, like, oh man, that's rough. That's rough. That's really, really rough. Oh man, that's really, really rough. Oh, thanks for the retweets. I'm looking at it now. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough. I feel sick to my stomach. My heart goes out to David. Same. I've heard these stories in other interviews before, but they're no less heavy. Yeah, that's true. But to hear it from, dude, to hear it from his son. This is the thing about this subject, is that I've never, like, dived deep into it. At least the way that they're doing it now. Although, very interesting the way that the investigator was talking about the woman who took care of the dogs and then ran out and shouted like, oh, Daniel's dead, Daniel's dead. And then, interesting how she went to, the cops were there, and then she went to the kids' room first instead of Nancy or Chris? Isn't that a little weird? I feel like that's a little weird. Also, for the investigators to come out after discovering the bodies and there's crime scene tape already around. I don't know. Maybe there needs to be a little bit more of a Netflix, I don't know, making a murder style of this case, but a little fishy. Ooh, it starts. It's back on.
Brutal and vicious murder. It was something that showed some sign of real rage. I'm Matthew Hernandez of the Fifth, and I'm the author of Ring of Hell, the story of Chris Benoit and the fall of the pro wrestling industry. The weekend of the murders, on Friday, Chris Benoit had a barbecue out by the pool with Daniel, and then that Friday evening, it appears that there was some sort of altercation between Chris and Nancy, that Chris restrained Nancy with duct tape, and then utilized a telephone cord to strangle her, and then placed a Bible next to her body. There are a number of beer cans and wine bottles around that indicate Chris may have been drinking. Next morning, on Saturday, Chris, we assume, gave his son Daniel Xanax and then murdered him in his room, being suffocated by his father. A Bible was placed next to Daniel as well. After that, Chris made a phone call and let friends know that Daniel and Nancy were both suffering from a bad stomach virus and that he had to take them to the hospital. That night, Chris went to bed with the bodies of his wife and child in the house. On Sunday, Benoit makes a couple searches on the internet that are chilling in retrospect. One, for a story in the Bible about the prophet Elijah and the resurrection of a dead boy in the Old Testament. And then a search about the quickest and most painless way of breaking one's own neck. Chris then went down to his home gym with a half-drunken bottle of wine. He went to his lat pull-down machine, he took the bar off, he wrapped a towel around his neck, and he took the metal cord from the lat pull-down machine and put it around his neck. He adjusted the weights to 240 pounds, and then he released it. So it's a very bizarre scenario, it's a very bizarre weekend, and it doesn't leave a lot of answers. He was a guy, you know, like my friend. Nobody expects their friend to kill their family. Like, what?
When I found out what had really happened, the shock is just, you can't even believe it.
I agree, this is eerie.
Knee and her back, and essentially broke her back. I couldn't fathom how cruel and how much pain she must have gone through, and how horrific that must have been for her. It was just unfathomable.
If Chris did give Daniel that, medication or prescription pills and suffocate him, like, shame on him. Daniel was innocent in all this.
We were hearing other things come out about the circumstances of him putting the Bibles by their sides and having a knife that he had planted underneath Daniel's bed or something like that.
Still couldn't wrap my head around it. It just sounded so like some bad horror movie.
And now I'm a part of humanizing murderer. Strange.
I mean, to think that Nancy was dead for 2 days before Chris took his life. How was that even logical for this man who loved her so much?
Later, it turned out that there was a Bible in the house, similar to the ones left by Nancy and Daniel's body, that Chris had left something akin to a suicide note. Something along the lines of, I'm preparing to leave this earth. So Chris did leave a suicide note. He didn't know what he was doing. He wasn't at least enough in his right mind to understand exactly what was happening, and was still considering whether he would go make a flight to go wrestle that night on international television.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We came up on air and finished talking. Thank God, letting everybody know what happened.
Last night on Monday Night Raw, the WWE presented a special tribute show, recognizing the career of Chris Benoit. However, now some 26 hours later, the facts of this horrific tragedy are now apparent. Therefore, other than my comments, there will be no mention of Mr. Benoit's name tonight.
It was understood that we were not to speak of Chris, speak of Benoit, speak of anyone of that incident. And by that next week, Chris's name was erased from everything that was involved with WWE.
And it was.
I mean, when we did interviews, we were not to mention Chris Benoit. So that's something that was really hard for us to do, but because we all wanted our jobs, it was understood.
I know WWE is kind of like his history of being in the business, and I can understand and totally agree with what they did. We're not going to praise the guy who murdered his wife or son, or give him any accolades for that.
I went to the funeral, Nancy and Daniel. I can't believe I said that. I was the WWE representative there, just me. Shits. I go to a funeral, people crying, and a kid being buried, and a woman being married for no reason. No reason to die.
The WWE sent JR, and I lost my cool with him and told him to his face that he wasn't welcome at the wake afterward. It was all work, just fake, garbage, nonsense. I can see work coming a mile away, and that's what I saw, and I knew that that was the truth.
I felt like I was the most unwanted person in the building because I was a WWE guy. And I probably loved it, especially anybody there.
Everybody was just a mess. It's shitty, and it's sad, and it's unfair because there's two people that could still be with us today. And if Chris wanted to take his life, then so be it. But to take all of them, I didn't go to Chris's funeral. I was angry. At that point, I was pretty angry at Chris, you know, for what he did.
His funeral was very private. We didn't tell anyone about it. That's when it all hit me right there, all at once. I was crying my eyes out.
Who in the wrestling business provided care for you and your family afterwards?
Nobody.
Is that a serious question? No, that's not your first thing. No one.
And did anyone from the WWE ever reach out to you and your family?
Chris Jericho and Chavo Guerrero. That's it. Nobody else. You know? Screw them. They weren't there for me. No. They backed off. Like I didn't even exist.
David!
25 years of Jim B.
Dude.
You think we just look back on our
David. Oh my god. Oh, David. Alex, I'm getting emotional too. Yeah, dude, I'm getting pretty goddamn emotional. I'm kind of a wreck right now. I think I should stop drinking. I got emotional listening to David speak. I think that's like the most emotional part about... The first half was definitely Chavo's experience finding Eddie's body, but the second hour is straight up like David's show. Dude, like, I am crying because of him. Screw Ben Sitting Man for not taking care of... I would assume that says screw Vince McMahon. Yeah, there we go. For not taking care of David and Nancy's sister. Yeah, but is that really surprising, though? Like, it's Vince McMahon. Of course he wasn't going to take care of them. I can feel my heart sink watching. Yeah, dude, me too. Can you hear mine sink while we're watching? Like, this is wild. I feel so bad for David. At least Jericho and Chavo were there for him. Yeah, that's... You know, and that, like... You know who your real friends are. Or you know, for Jericho and Chavo to be there for David, that seems very fitting. Fuck Dean Malenko for not doing that, and fuck Vince McMahon for not taking care of them. But, dude, like, Vince McMahon, like, he wasn't going to take care of them. That's not a surprise. I'm surprised Vicky didn't reach out to David. Yes, but I'm also not surprised. Because you lost your best friend, and your best friend that took care of you when your husband died. And yes, I could understand, like, that is, I'm with you on that. Kind of fucked up that she didn't reach out to him, but he looks just like him. I could understand why she didn't. Not to say that it was right. David has had it so rough, so tough, man. I feel for him. Dude, me too. Me too. He goes on his lives on Instagram, and he seems to be doing pretty well. Hopefully. WWE just gave a big FU to the family. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's not a surprise. Woo, we're back on.
The media was just non-stop
or 7.
Tonight we are talking about the strange and very sad case of Chris Benoit.
I didn't even watch news anymore. I didn't watch TV for months.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
We're also told by the police here that there were instruments of death found, not instruments of murder. There's going to be an autopsy report, but there's an awful lot of confusion about how this happened.
It really was the darkest time of my life.
Benoit had an intense on-stage persona. He was nicknamed the Rabid Wolverine, the Canadian Crippler. The couple actually met when her former husband drew up a script and put the two of them in a relationship.
It made everything extremely difficult. It made everything under a magnifying glass because CNN and Fox and all the news channels were at the gates. You know, a double murder-suicide with a 7-year-old kid is news. But I think that there's a point where you really just need to let the family grieve. All I really wanted to do was to be with my niece and nephew.
The mainstream media's reaction was typical because they love a tragedy, and it gives them another reason to take a shot at wrestling. It was a field day for them.
Professional wrestlers are 20 times more likely to die before age 45 than professional football players.
I think a lot of mainstream media looks down on wrestling as it is, and suddenly it's public enemy #1.
Chris Benoit's diary is revealing new information about his state of mind. The wrestler wrote a series of letters to his best friend. At one point, Benoit wrote, "I'll be with you soon."
Mike Benoit believes it's the diary of his son going mad.
We just didn't understand this was going on at that time in Chris's life.
I got a call from Chris's dad, Mike Benoit. He knew my relationship with Chris. The first thing he asked me was why. Which from a father's standpoint, I can understand how upset he was. And unfortunately, I felt bad. I didn't have any answers for him.
People need to understand that that was not him. Not the person we knew. The person I loved with all my heart. My hero.
The term that's been being thrown around everywhere is roid rage.
Some say steroid abuse is rampant at the organization, and everyone just turns a blind eye to this.
The media's initial response to the Benoit tragedy was that this was a roid rage incident.
Where do steroids stand in the bizarre Benoit deaths?
Pro wrestling, when Chris Benoit entered it in the 1980s, was extremely discriminatory against people who were not 6 foot plus tall, who were not 250 pounds or more, and very, very muscular.
Yeah.
My understanding is that Chris Benoit was using steroids from when he was in high school. In the months before the murders, Chris received a number of text messages from Nancy in which she made it very clear she was sick and tired of his steroid abuse. Nancy definitely directly accused him of abusing steroids to the point that it led him to be an angry and violent and unhappy husband. And she said that the WWE's drug enforcement policy and testing regime was obviously nonsense. Something called the Wellness Program that alleged that it was testing every WWE wrestler to make sure they weren't using recreational drugs, performance-enhancing drugs, or steroids.
I think at that time, instituting a wellness program like that, I think everybody was happy that finally some of these guys that needed the help were going to get help. I thought it was a great idea. Anything to help talent, save guys from themselves.
After Eddie died, the WWE's drug testing was super strict. It went through the roof. Like, you couldn't even take freaking aspirin, like a high-powered aspirin, unless you had like a prescription. And I'm not kidding. The drug testing is so strict that this rampant steroid use, dude, you can't. You can't go snort cocaine or smoke weed or anything. In practice, it was seen that this initial version of the wellness program had large loopholes in it and large blind spots that allowed wrestlers to continue to use drugs at a really large scale without tripping the tests.
Speculation is running wild. Did steroids play a role, or is there another explanation? We have an exclusive interview with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon.
WWE did everything it could to combat any coverage in the news media that indicated that drug abuse or steroid abuse was the cause of the homicide.
Yeah, because they didn't want to deal with that again.
Rage is an act of deliberation when you do something like this for 3 days. It's not an act of rage, be it steroid rage or roid rage, whatever it's called, or any other rage.
WWE strongly suggests that it is entirely wrong for speculators to suggest that steroids had anything to do with these senseless acts.
It's all speculation until the toxicology reports come back.
And
his autopsy, Chris Benoit was shown to have enormous amounts of testosterone in his body. Testosterone is still a steroid that's banned in all major sports. It directly leads to increased muscle growth. Some folks have said he had 10 times the normal amount of testosterone in his body as a normal human.
And did Benoit pass the wellness program check leading up to the murders?
Yes, preposterously, Chris Benoit passed the wellness checks leading up to the murder, despite the irrefutable fact that he was taking enormous amounts of steroids.
Coming up right after Dark Side of the Ring, it's Dark Side of the Ring.
You know,
After Dark. It's an after show that
you know,
gathered tonight on
not for nothing. Not for nothing. But we really let the WWE get away with a lot of fucking bullshit. Wow. Okay, David said, okay, I know WWE won't mention Benoit, but damn, WWE and Vince ain't said one word about Perry Saturn. I mean, they're and don't expect them to. That's a giant hole in the wellness policy, the wellness program. Yeah. Woo, the wellness program. It's such a, it never was good. And also, like, that's twice that Vince McMahon has had to deal with the whole steroids thing. But also, like, you know, oh, man. Saturn is fighting his own battles. Yeah, but dude, like, that's the whole thing. Like, with this, like, we hear it so fucking much. And we even saw it with the resurrection of Jake the Snake documentary, including Razor Ramon. They don't fucking take care of these guys. They do not take care of these guys. They use them up, and they abuse them, overwork them, and then once that they have seen that they, you know, are not of any importance to the company anymore, they literally throw them out. They throw them out. That sucks. That fucking sucks that that happens. But WWE is fucking shit for that. And Vince McMahon is shit for that. Although I feel bad for JR though, because I feel like JR probably really did want to go to the funerals and pay his respect. But he did it in the terms of WWE, representing WWE. And that's another, dude, Vince is the most pettiest motherfucker I think I have ever heard of in my life. In my life. And I can only, like, imagine, like, Vince sending JR because he probably knew. I don't know. It's back on.
Initially happened, I actually had nightmares. It was very traumatic because as a female, I tend to really get angry with him. The one person she thought was going to protect her is the one that really took her life.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors that no one knew about. I think there was a lot of volatile fights. One thing I always heard about Nancy, the fact that she did take shit. So I just know there's a lot of volatility there. That's the word I think was used, volatile.
There was a few times that Nancy would call me and she would say that her and Chris were fighting. There was an instance when they were in Tampa and Chris was upset when they were driving up on the way to our house, and Chris went in and busted the windshield of their car.
Did you ever witness any abuse that was going on in that relationship?
My sister called me to the house, and she called Mike Durham, known as Johnny Grunge, who was also a professional wrestler that lived in the area. And Mike said, I'll go wrangle Chris. I'll go wrangle Chris. Don't do anything rash. But it was already kind of done. He hurt her. I don't know whether it was intentional or accidental, but he hurt her. Out of respect for the kids that he still has here, I won't go further into that. She got a restraining order against him. I went down there and stayed at the house. Mike had him at a hotel there in the area. Chris contacted me directly because Nancy wasn't answering any of his calls and asked me to talk to my sister on his behalf. And please, please, please let him come to the house and talk to her personally. She called him, and he came over the next day, and they were back together a couple of days later. So I look back on that moment and say, you probably shouldn't have gotten involved, and why did I take his call? Because maybe that would have been the end of it. Almost every day I think about that.
When police found steroids on the scene, many
Feel for her sister.
explained it. The killer had flipped out because of drug use. Or might there be another explanation?
The initial media coverage all focused on steroid use, and I said, there's no way. I'm Chris Nowinski. I'm a former WWE superstar, and now I am a neuroscientist and run the Concussion Legacy Foundation. My wrestling career came to an end because I had a series of concussions that I didn't quite appreciate were concussions. I never stopped performing until the damage was sort of too much. So I decided I would start digging into what else was known, and it became a book. Chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE, is a progressive degenerative brain disease that appears to be started by hits to the head.
CTE, man. I'm not rooting for it, but
CTE at that time was that there were 4 cases of NFL players. 2 had died by suicide, and 1 had started hearing voices and led the police on a chase through upstate New York and died in a fiery crash going on the wrong side of the highway. When I heard about what happened with Chris Benoit, I immediately remembered a conversation I'd had with him maybe 6 months prior. I remembered that he had sat next to me in the locker room, and he said, I heard you writing a book about concussions. I was like, yeah. And he goes, I'm interested in what you're learning. And he's like, how many concussions have you had, before you had to retire? And I said, well, I can remember at least 6, but I probably had more. And I said, how many have you had? And he said, I've had more than I can count. And then he said, I'm going to give you my phone number, and I want you to call me next week. The next week, I called him. It sounded like he was in the middle of an argument. He was clearly agitated. It sounded like someone else was there. He just said, hey, I can't talk right now. Can I call you back? And I said, sure. I wonder if the reason he was asking me to call him was that he knew that something was going on, but he didn't quite appreciate what that was. And so I decided that I really needed to know if Chris had CTE. There was so much media attention, I really couldn't imagine his family answering the phone. But I said, I'll give it a try. And Chris's father answered on the second ring. He was in a state of mind you can imagine when you just lost your son and learned what happened. I told him my theory, and he immediately said, yeah, I want to see this done. We have the ring in early July, and I think within about a month we knew that it was positive for CTE, and it was a pretty severe case of CTE. And so we held a press conference in New York.
When you look at Christopher Benoit's brain, it is in fact shocking. Our findings showed extensive areas of tau protein deposition throughout his brain. Tau protein is a marker for brain damage.
With Chris, he actually had what would be defined as a severe case of CTE at 40 years old, which is early to have it. So it wouldn't just be areas of his cortex or areas of his brainstem, but there was damage in areas that you would think could influence emotional behaviors. And I believe the degeneration of his brain changed who he was and what he was capable of. And you get hit in the head thousands of times, your brain essentially can start to rot. You get this damage in your brain that even after you stop getting hit in the head, will continue to spread and changes who you are and how you behave and what you do.
woo, heavy stuff. See, dude, I've always said CT. I've never believed in the steroids thing. I mean, yeah, maybe he did do steroids. I mean, he did, but I never thought that it was road rage. Road rage doesn't make you do that shit. Purely CT. I mean, kind of maybe, but like, yeah, I don't know. Hence why they don't want chair shots to the head and such. I mean, yeah, it's true. Hold on 1 second. My dog is trying to come in. And I can show off my dog. Hold on 1 second. Come in. Hello. Hi, everyone. Ooh, some stuff fell. Hello, this little monster came to join us. Wow. CTE is no joke. Yeah, dude, it is no freaking joke at all. Corey Graves stopped competing because of the multiple concussions, so the same thing would have happened to him. CTE is why WWE stopped doing chair shots to the head. We have lost wrestlers, boxers, and NFL players due to CTE. Yeah. And for some reason, I don't know, I can't speak on behalf of boxers and NFL players, but dude, the reason why the WWE has not fully, man, WWE is fucked. They're fucked. I mean, look at the way that they're taking care of their workers during this time. Like, there's no baseball, there's no basketball. Granted, like, the basketball players, some of them were like infected, so that makes sense. But like, there's no baseball at all. There's no basketball at all. There's nothing, and yet we still have wrestling. And I get it. Wrestling's always gonna be there for us. But dude, give those guys a fucking break, because it's not only the athletes, but also the people that work in the WWE, like the camera people, the audio people, the production, like everybody, dude. Like, come on, give those guys a break. Anyway, please watch the film Concussion or the documentary League of Denial or more. I feel like I did see that. AEW as well. AEW as well. In my opinion, a combination of the brain. Ooh, it's back.
I think about, you know, when me and Chris would be talking, he would just be crying so much that, you know, I wonder why he couldn't control his crying. Does that go with the concussions? Does that go with his brain? You know, Eddie and Chris took a lot of chair shots.
They did.
And these chair shots from like years ago were hard and they were mean.
In the 90s, we used to take chair
Dude.
shots to the head. That was a badge of honor. And what I mean by that is someone would swing a steel chair at your head. And I literally remember you grit your teeth and you tense yourself and tense your neck. And just take it. They hit you in the head with it and you just take it. That was what you did. That was expected. If you got a concussion in wrestling, you just shake it off. Shake it off, go in there and do it. And all of us did it.
I wrestled for 20 plus years. It makes me wonder, how much CTE do I have? How much CTE do these other wrestlers have? Because we all got it.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah.
Is this going to be my end?
Yeah.
It's one of the most incredible things to me is you have Harley Race invents the flying headbutt and tells everyone after, don't do this move. If your spine up horribly, it ruins your ability to have an old age. Dynamite Kid hears that from Harley Race, does it, his whole career, ends up in a wheelchair. Dynamite Kid tells Chris Benoit does it his whole career, then loses his spine. I mean, there is a clear history of people repeating the most self-destructive story imaginable over and over again.
Yeah.
I think the Benoit tragedy led to some institutional changes. The awareness of what CTE is was never before even a conversation point. Now it is. And finally, unprotected chair shots and subsequent concussions are now being addressed, because the one thing we've got to do is protect the athlete.
I think when you look at what Chris Benoit did as a symptom of some sort of medical problem, whether it's drug use or brain damage, I think that misses the point. Ultimately, this thing that is the core reason this happened was Chris Benoit made a decision when he was a very young person to do absolutely whatever it took to succeed at his childhood dream of becoming a pro wrestling star.
Yeah.
No matter what happened that weekend, Chris Benoit's story was going to have a tragic end.
I think his fate was sealed the day that Eddie died. Whether he knew it or not, I don't think anybody can save him after that. Not his kids, not his family, not his other friends. I just think that was the one guy that he said, I can't do it if Eddie's not with me. Whatever it was that he was going through, you know, I think he just continued to shrink his whole world until all that was left was just whatever was in his head that caused him to snap. And he snapped.
It's not one thing. I think that it's a factor of alcohol and drugs and yes, possibly CTE and stress and grief. And all of those things rolled together put him on a path that weekend that he couldn't get off.
Chris is always going to be my friend and my brother. I just know that there was something going on with him that wasn't him. And it's something that, I'm still very much torn with because you love Chris. You just hate what he did.
The act of what he did is unthinkable, unforgivable. But it's still hard for me to separate a friendship that I had with him, matches that I had with him, moments, times, car rides. I think I can always look at Chris as one of the best performers our business has ever seen. Just gotta leave it at that.
That's all. That's all you can do.
Does Chris Benoit deserve to be in the Hall of Fame? And I'd say absolutely not. No. The issue is that if Chris were here, we could talk to him, he would say, putting me in the Hall of Fame is going to be one of the great distractions of the entire event. So all it's going to do is bring up Nancy and Daniel and Chris in their last 24 hours. So therefore I say, Chris Benoit does not belong in the WWE Hall of Fame, now or ever.
They have two guys that were the same basically their whole life and had the same reputation of being just immaculate professionals, immaculate human beings, the nicest guys, and they both die very young. And one's legacy is acclaimed, and one's is buried to that you almost can't say his name. If you would have told Chris, when you die, your name and your body of work is going to be erased from existence forever, it would have broke his heart. Because I think if nothing else, I remember he told me, it's like, listen, the critics are the critics, but if you have the respect of your peers, then nothing else matters. So to find out that he would have lost the respect, not only of his peers, his friends, his family, I don't think he ever wanted that. It almost took down the whole business. What Chris did almost, and that's another thing, what Chris did almost destroyed the only thing that he ever loved, from a professional standpoint. The only thing he ever loved, pro wrestling, Chris Benoit almost destroyed it. That would have torn him apart as well. So it leads us around to why did he do it? I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to answer that question.
Coming up right after Dark Side of the Ring.
It was very interesting what Chris Jericho said at the end with that. How he just wanted all of his peers' respect. Damn, dude. Daniel Bryan is already considering switching to part-time. Is that true? If that's true, that's insane. Yeah, CTE is a serious fucking thing. And that's a thing. You gotta think back. Pretty sure Edge fucked up his neck. And so did Daniel Bryan. Or was it CTE for Daniel Bryan? No, it's not CTE for Daniel Bryan because they would not let him wrestle if it was CTE. It was his neck. But, okay, Edge, for example. He probably is ready to be cleared and wrestle and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And he probably wanted to go to AEW. Maybe he would have taken care of himself a bit better in AEW, but the check was fatter in the WWE. And WWE is purely home for Edge. I think that Vince is always in a wrestler's ear. Like, hey, come back, man. Come back. You never know. You never know. This and that. Come back. You'll make a bunch of money. You'll have better moments. This and that. Blah, blah, blah. And they bring them back. And it's just like, bro, you don't need to bring back these fucking old, you don't need to bring back Edge. Did I drop to the floor and cry when Edge came out for the Royal Rumble? Yeah, of course. CTE can't be diagnosed until after they die. They need to find a way to diagnose it better. Yeah. But that's the thing, is that the doctors and this wellness program is shit. But yet, next episode is the New Jack episode? Bro, we are definitely doing a watch along for the New Jack episode.
Cooperation and physical assault is murder. Keep some people's lives up.
What I'm gonna do to him, people will be talking about this 10 years from now. He's stabbing his mom. Oh, well, it's been 20 years and we still talking about it.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Ooh, the new Jack episode. We're definitely gonna watch that together. Oh, David.
Look at me different now because of what you did. People talking shit behind my back, looking at me different, getting bullied. Screw it. I'm defending my family and what I believe in. You know, he loved them. That definitely was not him. He's still my hero. I think about him all the time. I want them to recognize Nancy, though. She definitely deserves recognition that she doesn't get.
That's the unfortunate and the sad part about the story is that she needs to be remembered for a strong woman pioneering in this business and her talent, and focus on that instead of what happened to her.
She's a Hall of Famer all across the board, in my opinion. She was a pioneer and one of the best at a role that doesn't exist anymore. As a pro wrestling manager, she created the role, she perfected the role, and then when she stopped doing it, the role basically disappeared. I would like nothing better than to see Nancy Benoit. Once again, you can't even say that name, right? Woman. I would like nothing better than to see a woman be put into the WWE Hall of Fame.
She was a great mom. She was a beautiful friend. And Nancy will always be the superstar that she was meant to be in my mind.
What do you remember the most about Nancy?
I remember everything about her. I remember how her hair smells. She just took me in with both hands real hard, like on both sides of the blanket to tuck me in. Almost like she was putting a lock on me to keep me safe. And to this day, when I get sad or upset or stressed out, I will tuck myself in on the sides so that I feel more secure.
What do you remember the most about Daniel?
Everything. I closed my eyes and I could see him doing everything. He was our whole lives, all of us. He was very, 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 very loved. By our family, by his siblings. He and his brother were just thick as thieves.
Did you go on to have any relationship with the Benoit family afterward?
I tried. Unsuccessfully. I was told, I won't say by who, that the children didn't want anything to do with us. And apparently the children were told that we didn't want anything to do with them because of what their dad did. Which was absolutely not the truth.
My last trip with my family was for WrestleMania 23 in Detroit. And then after the match, we flew back to Atlanta, me, Nancy, and Daniel. My dad went to Mexico for a tour. And then me, Nancy, and Daniel were just hanging around the house, taking pictures, you know, out by the trees with the dogs. And then, you know,
David is absolutely a victim. He's a great kid that was just dealt a bad hand. And it's just not fair.
Chavo!
He didn't do anything wrong. He's an innocent bystander in all of this.
Oh!
I felt that because Chris killed his family, that the family he left behind was automatically blackballed from the world. Like they're going to be blamed for what Chris did. To me, those two needed to be reconnected because talking with David and meeting Sandra and knowing she was having the same issues and pain and hurt that David had, and nobody will ever really understand what they went through with the exception of each other. So I thought if I could connect them, if they had a chance to talk, that maybe they could move on and still realize that they have family in each other.
Is that the fucking Sears Center?
Jericho, Wrestling Angel come to life. He gave my number to my nephew and gave my nephew's number to me. We hadn't talked since before everything happened.
So, 13 years the last time we saw each other. It's been a very long time. She finally called me. I answered. We talked on the phone for probably a good 2 hours. And now, going to watch wrestling. But I still love it. It's in my blood. Feels like we never were apart. Felt like we just reconnected. Left off where we started. Nothing has changed. She's still my Auntie Zoja.
Chris lives on in David every day, and Nancy lives on in Sandra every day. And I think they're both lost when Chris and Nancy died. So hopefully this will help them get found.
Yeah, well, because you guys have the same perspective, you know, and it's important for you guys to stick together on this, right? Because you know, yeah, we can be friends and be supportive, but it's not the same, you know, it's for you guys.
No, it's not the same. That's family.
Yeah.
I've never been more grateful and happy to see someone that I love as I was when I saw my nephew.
Do you think you will ever be able to or want to give forgiveness towards Chris?
Yes, I think I do. Someday I want to be able to forgive him. I do. Because carrying around the burden of hate gets exhausting. Everyone deserves forgiveness. And everyone deserves mercy. So I think that within time, there will be a day when I get on my knees and I finally say it, that I forgive him. You never know, it might be tomorrow, but I do know it's not today.
Wow. Wow. Oh man. Oh man. Dude, fucking hell yeah. I'm about to tweet that out now. You're right. Chavo is the real MVP. And we need to protect Chavo Guerrero at all times. Jericho hooked that up. Respect. Dude, yeah. I have so much respect now for Jericho for bringing them together. Like, sorry, I'm still like choked up about that. I'm very happy that they... Because, you know, documentaries, like, they'll say that and that's the it of like, oh, no, like... You know, the family told me that they didn't want anything to do with me, but then the family told the kids this and that, and it's usually, like, in documentaries, that's it. You know, you get the sad ending, but I'm happy that they got the happy ending. And I wonder if that was at All Out, because I was there. But, oh, man, yeah. Chris said, and this is why Chris Jericho is one of my all-time beautiful. I hope to see David Benoit in the ring one day. I think I went on his Instagram Live and he said that he was going to do... Well, he was gonna wrestle. I think he's training now, isn't he? I need a new towel. Good that Sandra and David reconnected though. Dude, that makes me very happy. I love that they put that happy ending with that. And also to mention that fucking Nancy Benoit should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the conversation is always Chris. But we do forget about Nancy Benoit. And if we can induct her with the woman title instead of the Benoit title, yeah, why not? Let's do it. Let's absolutely do it. I'm so happy they got that happy ending, dude. I'm so happy. I'm absolutely, absolutely happy. I have to see David Benoit. Oh, I already read that. Jericho's the GOAT. Hell yeah. Also love you on the SmackDown review. Follow you on Instagram. And you made my Saturday every week. Thank you so much, Christopher Meeks. Meeksies? That was a Rick and Morty reference. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much for following me and watching me. And that's awesome. Thank you. Chris Jericho is le champion of all our hearts for doing this. That is very true, Brian. Chris said you should do more of these live streams. I would love to come in and hang out from time to time. You know what? I think I might. Let's do next week. Let's definitely do New Jack next week. How about that? I'll meet you guys here next week, but I'm gonna stay on for a little bit. I'll stay on for another like 2 minutes. And if you guys have any questions or you know, you have any comments about the show, and I would love to talk about it, because man, that's, oh my god. Lauren, hi Lauren. The only thing I did not like about tonight's documentary was I wanted to hear from Kevin Sullivan. Yeah, but he didn't give his comments, so I don't know. I dare you. I dare you to do what? To do this every Tuesday? I will. Challenge accepted. Thanks so much for doing this. Oh, thank you for joining, David. This was fun. This was so much fun. At the end of the day, no matter what, wrestling brings everyone together. I can't stop. You know what? That is very, very true. At the end of the day, whether we are living life and we feel like we don't want to be a part of this earth anymore, or we are going through a lockdown, there's always things that we love that makes us feel better. And for some of us, that's wrestling. And wrestling, for me, definitely cures whatever mumbo jumbo is going on over here and over here. And it's nice to know that other people enjoy wrestling as well. And it does bring us together. Dude, we're all in the crowd at wrestling shows. We're all in the crowd. We're all enjoying it in the atmosphere. So what you say is right. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This was fun. I am going to end on that note. Wrestling brings everyone together, including Dark Side of the Ring, because this show is so fucking good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching with me. This was so much fun. I'm going to do this again. I'm definitely going to do this for the New Jack episode next week. I feel like that episode is going to have some crazy reactions from me. But yeah, I will definitely post on Instagram and Twitter and let you guys know for sure. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Let's do this again. I can't wait. This was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you guys are just discovering me now, hi, hello, my name is Alex. I'm self-proclaimed Queen of the Ring. You can follow me on Instagram @_Queen of the Ring. You can follow me on Twitter @AQueenofTheRing. If you already follow me on those platforms, thank you so much for following me. And you can check out the channel Wrestling with Regret. I do some SmackDown reviews on that channel, and you can go and click on that channel, subscribe to that channel, check out my videos. I post them every Saturday. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. And this wraps up the first Watchalong episode. And this was a lot of fun. Let's do more of this. I will see you guys on the interwebs, or I will see you guys next week, next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. All right? I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.